Okay, so let's get this thing started. So we are sitting, just for our audience and for video, with Briana Cole. She is the author of The Wives We Play and the Unconditional series. So there's more to come, so much more to come. So we are excited about that. And we have a couple of questions from your guests. So our first question, what do you use to overcome writer's block and get started on the project?
Wow. What do I use to overcome writer's block? Reading. Reading helps me a lot. I'm a reader first. I've been reading for as long as I remember. My mom and them used to joke, they would put me on punishment by taking my books because I didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I love to read, and that actually remotivates me. When I'm kind of reading, getting into characters, that lets the creative juices flow. So when I have writer's block, I do a lot of reading.
Wow, that's a great question. So let me ask, is there a specific genre that you read in order to kind of get you back? Does it have to match the style of what you're reading?
Not necessarily. I read everything. I read young adult fiction. I read romantic suspense, thrillers. I read a little bit of everything. My favorite author is Kimberly Lawson Robbie, and one of my second favorites is Nora Roberts. And my third favorite is like Rashonda Tate Billingsley, Victoria Christopher Murray. Like we can go down the gauntlet, but yeah, I read a little bit of everything. So.
Okay, awesome. All right, so our next question: what was your inspiration for your book?
The Wives We Play.
Yes, The Wives We Play.
All right, so The Wives We Play, and if you've heard another interview, you've heard me tell the story, but that actually came to me when I was watching one of my favorite shows, Say Yes to the Dress.
Hey.
And I just so happened to be watching the show when I heard a woman say, well, we're looking for a wedding dress for our husband. We're getting married to him. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute now. There we go. We got something. So it actually kind of sparked those juices flowing. And I was like, you know what? It would be pretty awesome to get behind the scenes of this type of poly relationship. It's so taboo. And if y'all know me, y'all know I like to talk about the unconventional. Like, y'all read Heartbreaker, right? I mean, I'm just saying. So, I like to talk about the unconventional, that taboo stuff that people aren't really talking about. I like to shed light on that stuff, as well as educate and entertain, too. And, I don't know, it just kind of, like I said, it kind of came to me. And you know what? Someone else kind of piggybacking on that question. When I had another interview yesterday, someone else asked me, well, do I know somebody in this type of relationship? And, I say, well, when I say know somebody, I say not per se, but kinda. Because y'all know, and I'm keeping it real, y'all know as well as I do, we have plenty of women and men who are okay with being in this type of relationship. They know that their husband, what's Caesar say? On the weekends, I get them on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? So you have plenty of women and men who know that they are in that type of relationship. Not necessarily by choice, but for whatever the case is, they kind of accept it. So they know, well, yeah, I mean, he got somebody, but I mean, he come on to me, so what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? I know plenty of women like that. So,
All right. How do you feel about that lifestyle?
This is my thing. I'm not one to judge. The way I see, love is love. Love is love. And I think a lot of, when it comes to, especially with non-monogamy relationships, a lot of things kind of come into play because we're ignorant. We don't know everything that takes place. You know what I'm saying? And the way I see it, I'm not going to judge you. If that's what works for you, that's what works for you. That don't work for me, Benjamin. That don't work for me, baby. That don't work for me. But if that works for you, then I'm not going to. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a open relationship or poly and you've established those boundaries, then by all means, thank you. Then go right ahead and do what works for you. But make sure it is clear on both sides. I don't want the man to be saying, well, I'm in the open, your wife like, who's this when? You know what I'm saying? Make sure, let's be fair and be realistic. But
yeah, I absolutely agree. As long as everybody is aware of what they're involved in, grown people will do grown things and you stay out of your business. But, it's when they don't know is when it becomes an issue, So let's go to our next question. Who are some people who inspire you to act and write?
Inspire me to act and write. Well, I have a number of role models and you know, and women I look up to. One of my favorite poets is Dr. Maya Angelou, of course.
Yes.
I mean, of course. And Miss Nikki Giovanni, of course. You know, but when it comes to writing, I look to my other authors, like I mentioned, Kimberly Lawson Robbie and Noah Roberts, and the authors that I follow, as well as just authors that I know. It doesn't have to be, you know, the celebrity New York Times bestseller. You know, it's people, I communicate with a lot of other authors and creative individuals online and just through networking, and it's being out in conferences. So, you know, they inspire me as well, and especially when it comes to acting too. So.
Yeah. So would you say that the people who you kind of like, as far as your authors that you like and things like that, do they play a large role on how you write or your style of writing?
I think so. I think, you know, we draw inspiration from, you know, from different things, and I've kind of come into my own as far as if you read Heartbreaker and if you read The Wives We Play, you can absolutely see the growth. But I feel that, you know, we kind of draw inspiration from different people and different things, different moments and experiences. And I'm the kind of person where I try to insert a little bit of myself into each of my stories. You don't know which part may be the truth and which may be the fiction, but that ain't none of y'all business. Just enjoy the book. Enjoy the book.
Awesome. And so do you see yourself writing, like always writing unconventional, or, you know, or do you see any other genres you kind of dip and dab in?
Well, y'all know I write children's books too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you. I have a children's book out there, but that wasn't really something that was kind of touched my spirit. That was more so for my kids. I wanted my children to have a little piece of me and to be able to have a tangible product that they can go and show off that mommy did it. So that's what I kind of did it for them. So I don't push myself as a children's book author. As far as other genres, I'm very, very comfortable, and I love domestic suspense, romantic suspense. You know, my publisher kind of likened this book to like Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn and The Girl on the Train, you know, that kind of stuff, which I read those as well. So I love that genre because I love this. That's what I like to read. If I tried a different genre, I have an author friend who wants to collaborate with me on a young adult novel, but let me tell you something. He had me write the first chapter of this book, and then he read it and was like, Briana, you know you too grown. You know, we said young adult. You know, teenagers. You can't be that grown in the teenage book. And I was like, well, you know what? We're going to practice.
Yes,
we'll
I'm grown.
You know, because I am grown. So, but, you know, I'm willing to try.
All right. So we have another question. Do you like men with Dumbo ears? And if so, why, and will you write a book about it?
Why and will I write a book about it? No, I won't write a book about my personal experiences in my relationship. But yes, I am absolutely head over heels in love with a man that some say has Dumbo ears. But that's neither here nor there. I love him anyway. So.
Y'all are crazy.
Probably his sister.
All right, next question. When did you first realize you wanted to pursue a career as an author and also as an actress and playwright, and how? So I guess we'll start with author.
I knew I wanted to be an author when I was about 6 years old. It usually starts young. I used to write short stories and actually draw the little stick characters that go with the stories. My mama probably still got some of those. Auntie, you still got some of those stories? My auntie, I actually told her she was destroying my life because she lost one of my stories on my floppy disk that she, just saying, you know.
I actually heard that story on our interview, by the way,
saying,
on the radio show.
Some things you just can't get over. So, some things you can't get over. But I used to write when I was very, very little. I actually started a greeting card business when I was in high school, which was really cool. I would write poetry and then put them on a greeting card. My mama invested in all this equipment for me to do greeting cards, and then I stopped it like 2 years later because I was like, Mom, I'm finna go to college. I ain't got time for that. So yeah, I've always known that I wanted to write. It was just a matter of what avenue. Yeah. And I changed my major a couple of times. I went to Georgia Southern, the real GSU, and I changed my major a few times because I wasn't sure what type of writing. So I was in journalism for a little bit. I was in English for a little bit, but I just finally settled on writing and linguistics, which is my bachelor's in writing and linguistics, because it kind of let me be creative. So
awesome. So what about as your acting career? How did that start?
All right, so I first started acting in 7th grade. I was the prosecutor in the trial of Goldilocks. And I used to be so shy. Can y'all believe that? I used to be like so shy. Sis tell you, Jaquana, you remember. I used to be so shy. So, I started acting, and it was really cool because it was another outlet, Yeah. That's why I love writing and acting, because they're both, go hand in hand, and they're both creative outlets. So, I don't know, it's something about being on stage. It's really like a surreal type of experience. So I've done a number of stage plays. I've even done a stage play with Miss Shonda Staples Race. I was able to meet the director and writer here herself. I was in one of her community theater plays called Vicious Circle. I was the lead in that play. We toured, went to St. Louis. Lil G was in the play. I mean, we had so much fun. So call me, next time. Keep going. But now I've kind of moved into more film and TV, because y'all know I've been advertising. I'm gonna be on Fatal Attraction. Y'all didn't see that, right? February the 4th, y'all, Monday. February the 4th, Monday at 9 o'clock. I am the victim in the Fatal Attraction episode. So that was amazing. We went to Knoxville, Tennessee, and we filmed for about 2 or 3 days. I went with my grandma, my bodyguard there, to make sure I was good. And but it was cool. I mean, the content was intense, obviously, because y'all know Fatal Attraction is true crime reenactment. So the story itself is about a young lady. She was 27. She was 9 months pregnant when she was stabbed by her boyfriend. So it is a very, very intense episode, and but just being on camera and working with such a phenomenal film crew and cast was a lot of fun. That was fun.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
So you guys need to pull out your phones and go ahead
and
February 4th. That's Monday at 9.
9 o'clock, right after
Eastern
Super Bowl.
time.
9 and 11, maybe 12.
You need to make sure you guys watch that. We want to support. That's awesome, girl. You're so amazing. All right. So what about a playwright? Writer? When did you start feeling like you wanted to write your own plays?
Well, I told my agent recently that I wanted to be like, I'm not gonna say the next Tyler Perry, because I'm my own person, but I knew I wanted to kind of follow in that same type of path. He's writing, he's acting, he's directing, and I kind of see myself doing that same stuff. So I actually rented this venue for the last Saturday in April and the last Saturday in September, because I was trying to write and produce my own dinner theater. Nice. It may not pull it off by April, but it'll be pulled off by September. So I'm gonna write a play. I already have it in mind. I just have to write it, cast it, produce it, and put it on. It's probably gonna be right here in September. So yeah, I'm
awesome.
going. That's my next step. I'm going there.
Yeah. So do you feel like you have one love more than the other? Like something that what are you most passionate about?
Before I would say it was equal, but now I love acting. I love being able to do more acting, and writing, don't get me wrong, is right up there close to it. That's why I'm excited about the playwright ventures, because I'm able to kind of merge both of those passions. Yeah.
And what's awesome is as you grow and as life continues, you can be more passionate in certain things at certain times, and just take advantage of all your God-given gifts, because we're blessed by them, right? Yes. All right, so do you see yourself doing something other than what you're already doing in the future?
Do I see myself doing something other than what I'm doing? Well, as I continue to grow the Briana Cole brand, I see opening my own dinner theater. I see starting a foundation and giving scholarships to other creatives and young children who are looking to kind of step into this industry. You know, that's kind of what I see in the foreseeable future, you know, but it'll all be kind of, you know, it'll still kind of carry that same
the brand and the concept. Okay, so we just wanted to manifest that real quick. We
go.
said it out loud, and that's what's going to happen. Okay, right? That's how that works. You say it out there. Yeah, absolutely. So what do you want people to get from your books? What do you want them to take from your books?
I want people to be entertained, and I want people to be maybe even a little bit educated, because I touch on just some new things or even old topics in a brand new way. So I want people to recognize the plot twist, because I love twisting the plot. Love keeping the pages turning. So I want people to walk away maybe just learning a little bit about others, and even maybe a little bit about themselves, and maybe even a self-awareness type of ordeal.
Absolutely, and I will say with The Wives We Play, you definitely get that.
Yeah.
Because when you read the title, you like, what you mean, girl? Why is 3 of them on there? What's going on? Right. You know, you kind of get this judgment automatically, right? And then when you get into the book, you start to understand the characters. You start to see these characters' lives and perspective that you wouldn't know unless you were reading the book. You're just looking at the outside and you're like, girl, what you doing? And then you read into it and it's like, oh wow, I'm pretty sure there's probably a lot more people in that position than we know.
That's why someone asked me once before, who did I see myself as in the book? And Kamira, the main character, I'm sorry. Kamira here is actually my coworker. That's who I got the name for the book. Yeah. But it's not about her, at least not that I know of. but the name Kamira I absolutely stole from her. But Kamira, the main character in the book, I see most people hate her. Honestly, most people hate her. Because on the surface, it seems like she's just this shallow individual. She's just about her money. That's why she accepts going into this type of lifestyle, this type of relationship. Because for her, it's all about the dollar signs. And it seems very shallow, and people see that as unrealistic, or they hate her, at least so I've been told with the feedback. But then I have some people who actually get it. They recognize that that is a facade, that is just a defense mechanism, because she's really unhappy and unsatisfied with herself, because she's afraid of putting herself out there, you know, to love again. She's been hurt, as we all have, you know, so that kind of stuff I've actually adopted from my own life. Once you've been hurt so many times, you almost begin to question your own self-worth. You know, is that all that I'm worth? Is that all that I'm good for? Is this type of thing? Because, you know, you've been hurt. So for her, it's a defense mechanism. It's just a way to kind of keep that at bay so she is not hurt again. So as you begin to read and going on and reading in book 2 and book 3, you will be able to pull back those layers and see it's, you know, Kamira, she's my favorite character because of that.
Yeah. So you mentioned a book 2 and a book 3. So what's the plan there?
Okay. So y'all see that beautiful cake over there, right? Y'all like what I did? So The Vows We Break is book 2 in the Unconditional series. It's a 3-part series. The cake over there is the big title cover reveal. That is on sale now. Well, no, I'm sorry. It's up for pre-order now. You can pre-order it. Yeah, it's already up there. It's done. It's to the publisher. It's already available for pre-order on Amazon. It will drop July the 30th of this year. And then exclusive here, the last book in the series that I have to start writing is actually slated to be released at the beginning of 2020. That will be called The Hearts We Burn. That's the big finale about what's going on. So that will drop at the beginning of 2020.
Awesome. And what is the story kind of all one?
It continues. Yeah, it just keeps on going. We don't break stride. It continues. So, you know, we leave off on a good note here somewhat, you know, and then it just picks right back up and we dive back in the head first.
Oh, very nice. I'm excited about that. Did anyone have any other questions? You can kind of shout it out.
Oh, did I answer all your questions? Even about the Dumbo ears? I love you. We good?
No, I think you are
good.
good, and you did I mean, the book is amazing. I can't wait for everyone to read it. Is there a place is there a forum or somewhere people can talk about it together?
Yes, well, you could absolutely. You know, I'm very active on social media, as you all know. So, any type of, I'm already in, I think Robert's Facebook group. That we're doing a book discussion about the book at the end of February. I've been invited to do some other book talks. I'm getting with Wanda so I can get to the Real Divas Read Book Club to talk about it. So anytime you want to just chat, we can do an author meetup. We can go have some brunch and just discuss the book. We can do it online. Have a
let's
online
do a Facebook Live.
We can do Facebook Lives. Yeah,
let's do a
Instagram
Facebook Live forum, and maybe we could do something like that next month and kind of talk about it. The group here, y'all down for that?
Yeah,
I think that would be awesome.
And then please review it too.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. You know, in addition to reading it, I appreciate it. Love the support. But please review it, because that's what everyone else is looking at too. Your reviews on Amazon or Barnes or wherever. So make sure you review it.
All right. So we're going to do that. So you guys, give her a round of applause. So awesome.